fellow YouTubians. And today, we got some more NFL predictions. I'll put what I did last week on the screen right now, along with my record from last week and my record of the entire season. Now, moving on, we have to pick somebody to win the Giants game. Because I'm a Giants fan, I'm biased. So, I try to make it random, and I try to do something that requires some skill. You know, take a shot in basketball or something. So it's not always going to be the Giants that win. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I have no idea. I gotta flip this hat onto my head. I get another try. Another try. Try it. Yeet! No. Doesn't work that way. It doesn't work like that. Cincinnati Bengals are going to win against the Giants. So we have these glasses on because I'm going to be analyzing rather than just saying a team willy-nilly. So, the first game, Houston at Jacksonville. Houston's going to win. Alright, Broncos. We got the Broncos at the New Orleans Saints. And I think that the Broncos are going to win, not only because they have a great defense. I mean, their defense has been really good, and even though Aqib Talib is out, they've still been able to produce pretty well. Obviously not on Sunday night, though. But I do think that the Broncos will win against a poor New Orleans Saints offense and just all-around team. Their whole team kind of sucks. So it's just, yeah. LA took a loss to the Panthers last week, which is kind of a shame because the Panthers were one of the worst teams leading into that week. So, LA is going to try to bounce back against the New York Jets, and I think that they will succeed in doing that in New York. Now, we have the Falcons at the Eagles. Is this a rivalry? I'm not sure if it's a rivalry, but I know these are the two teams that Mike Vick played for. I'm pretty sure it's a rivalry, but I think that the Falcons are going to win, and I'm not just saying that because the Eagles are in the Giants division. I'm saying that because I think the Falcons are going to come out and do what they do most of the time on defense, and they're going to play lockdown defense against a Philadelphia Eagles offense that has not been putting together and getting as many points as they had in the first couple weeks of the season. They were looking like one of the best teams in the league, and then all of a sudden they stopped putting out the way that they used to be. Now we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Carolina Panthers. So, the Kansas City Chiefs are one of my favorite teams. I think that they are a very good team. I like them. I like Travis Kelce, probably one of my favorite tight ends in the league. Alex Smith is out, though, so Nick Foles is playing, who is notoriously garbage. Even though they don't have a good quarterback, their defense is pretty sound and pretty able to stop a lot of things. And Carolina is just pretty trash anyway. They only won by 3 points against LA. So most of these games are garbage teams facing other garbage teams. So this is not going to be a great week of football. But as you can see, I am going to pick the Kansas City Chiefs. On to the Chicago Bears at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I almost forgot what city they were in. Tampa Bay, not putting together, not producing the way that they would have hoped to so far this season, but still being able to get some things going on offense. Mike Evans is having a pretty decent year. He had a field day against the Falcons on Thursday night. Even though they took the L, I still think that the Buccaneers are going to bounce back this week. They're going to win at home against the Chicago Bears. Now, we have the Vikings at the Redskins. The Vikings are hoping to break their losing streak and continue to win even after this week. And I think that they will succeed in doing that because the Redskins are getting a little cocky. I think that they do that just like they did last season. At the end of the season, they were like, oh, we won the division. Then they kind of took an L after that because they sucked in the playoffs. But anyway, I think that the Minnesota Vikings are going to come back together. They're going to the Minnesota Vikings are going to come back together. They're going to finally realize what they need to be doing. They need to get back together. They need to regroup and figure out how to get their defense going, how to get their offense going, how to get everything clicking once more. And finally, not finally, but I don't know why I said that word. Now we got the Green Bay Packers at the Tennessee Titans. Green Bay's still going to crush the Titans. They're still one of the best teams in the league, even though they took a mean L against the Indianapolis Colts, who are on a bye this week. We've got the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins at the San Diego Chargers, two of the worst teams in the NFL for the past couple years. The Dolphins are trying to get back together, and I think that they're getting there. But I think that the Chargers are going to finally lead themselves to a victory that is going to sustain itself. For many games, they had a victory, and it was very much in their hands. And then the other team came back in either the last half or the last quarter or something like that. That they've done that at least 3 or 4 times this year, and I think it's going to be a similar situation where we think that's going to happen. But for once, the San Diego Chargers are going to hold on to a lead and beat the Dolphins. We have the San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals, and I have to stop. I have to chill a little bit with loving the 49ers, because at the beginning of the season, if you guys keep up with this, I thought the 49ers were going to be great, because if you want to know, I was playing with them in Madden, and I really liked their team, and I beat the Cardinals, who are one of the best teams in Madden at that time. So I was like, wow, this team's going to be great. And now that I have these glasses on, I think I'm a lot smarter. So I'm realizing that the 49ers are not great. They are going to take an L to the Arizona Cardinals coming off a bye week. Arizona is going to absolutely whoop them. Whoop their booties. Just whooped. Just get out. Get out. We've got Dallas at Pittsburgh. So this is an interesting matchup. Two of the most high-powered offenses in the league, even though Pittsburgh did not produce as well as anybody thought they were going to last week. One of the things that I really did not like, because that's why I did so bad in the predictions last week, is because the Steelers lost. But I do think that they're going to bounce back this week. They are distraught. They're sad. They lost to the Ravens of all teams, a division rival, and they're angry, and they want to get back out there, and they want to fix their mistakes, and they want to go and score points and do good on defense. They want to get everything clicking again. I think Big Ben will come back. This is his comeback game after the injury, and I think that he's definitely going to lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to a win against Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, and the Dallas Cowboys. We have the big Sunday night showdown of the Seattle Seahawks at the Paratombla. I don't know what I was trying to say. The Patriots, that's what I was trying to say. The New England Patriots. So Super Bowl matchup, rematch, I guess. There ain't gonna be no shenanigans. If I could speak correctly, you would have heard that I said there ain't gonna be no shenanigans. Last week, there was some shenanigans in Seattle. Was it in Seattle? Yeah, I think it was in Seattle. NCIS? What? I don't know. Some really weird stuff went down, but I think Seattle's gonna win legitly this week. This week, I should say. In prime time, when Seattle plays their best football. Same with New England, but Seattle has one of the greatest defenses, and I think that they're going to realize that in order to beat the New England Patriots, they really, really have to come together, just like the Minnesota Vikings will. just like the Pittsburgh Steelers will, except the Pittsburgh Steelers will do it on offense. The Seattle Seahawks are going to come together, and they're going to beat one of the greatest superpowers in the NFL at this time. Moving on to next week. Next week, the Thursday game of next week, since I do these on a Saturday. Next week, we have the New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. After the Carolina Panthers taking an L to the Kansas City Chiefs, and after the New Orleans Saints taking an L to the Denver Broncos, if my previous predictions are correct, then two of the worst teams in the NFL are going to face off on primetime, sort of like what happened this Thursday, except one of the teams was good. Both of these teams are very trash, and for some reason this year, the NFL thinks that it's fun to tie. Teams love tying this year, and I want to say that these two teams are going to tie, but I don't think they are. I really don't think they are, and it's very hard for me to pick one team that I think is going to do better in that high-pressure situation. And I think Cam Newton is going to elevate his game to a whole new level. Since he's under the lights for the first time, I believe, of this year, Cam Newton is going to put together a game for himself, he's going to put together a game for his team, and he's going to lead the Carolina Panthers to a victory at home against the New Orleans Saints under the Thursday night lights. And take off the analytic glasses and look at your predictions. Holy crap. That was smart. I think that was the smartest predictions I've ever done.